can be really confusing in modern times to understand what does it mean to be a man these days. We get fed different notions from the Bugatti driving, kickboxing, hyper-masculine guy like Andrew Tate to the genderless blobs that appear in Western media more and more. It is difficult to understand what traits matter these days in order to attract women. What do women really care about? Which character traits should you aspire to be an attractive, high-value man in 2023 and beyond? Let's talk about it. Even though it's kind of sad, the good news for you is the bar is really low. Men these days are afraid to show their masculinity. Even the word masculinity has this negative notion these days, right? Toxic masculinity. That is good news for a guy like you trying to improve himself. If you just follow the 5 traits that I'm listing in this video and you're honest to yourself and honest to the people around you, women will notice and they will find you attractive. Don't get too carried away by the notion of you have to also be incredibly rich and the CEO of a company and party on a yacht. This is the 0.001% and it doesn't actually lead to fulfillment, happiness in that sense. So let's talk about the 5 traits that are simple and not necessarily easy to achieve, but graspable, that you can embody, that you can aspire to, that will for sure lead to you becoming a high-value man and leading to the women around noticing and being attracted to you. Number 1, bravery. Now, of course, we can talk about action heroes and war heroes back in the days, and yes, these people have been incredibly brave, but in modern days where we don't have to use our body physically that much anymore and we don't have to risk our life for our country in order to defend our family, luckily, most of the time, bravery means something else. It means having courage. It means having social freedom in a sense as well, right? So in these days, especially in the context of becoming a high-value man, it can be simple things like cold approach, being brave enough to put yourself out there and talking to women on the street and being honest and direct with them. It can mean taking initiative at a social event, at a certain get-together, in a networking stuff, in a work setting, being the guy who takes action, who takes leadership, who puts himself out there, and who's obviously risking to up, right? I mean, that's what it all comes back to when it's about courage. You are the guy taking the risk. Same with social freedom. You're the guy putting yourself in front of a girl, ready to having your ego crushed. So this takes bravery and this takes courage. It can be as simple as asking personal questions in a kind of like boring setting, right? When people are just doing chit chat and suddenly you're the guy who just strikes and asks something personal. Other people go a little bit, oh my God, how can he ask that? But this shows that you are ready to take the blame, ready to look a bit stupid, which is brave. On a dating setting, this could be you being the one pushing things further, right? Going for the hug, the kiss, asking a girl to go home with you and so on. So progressing things further and not constantly being afraid of escalation, of rejection. Now, paradoxically, we talk about bravery, and when you think about someone brave, you have that images of this warrior in your head with like, dirt in his face and like ready to die for his country. But paradoxically, the real bravery can also mean being really vulnerable. And we're gonna talk about this a bit later, but vulnerability is a big and ultimate sign of strength, right? Like I mentioned, you talk to a girl on the street, and what does that mean? You're basically telling her, hey, I think you're attractive, you're beautiful, hey, how's your day? Hey, I want to get to know you, kind of. Like, you can like play it down as much as you want. You can, hey, what's up? How's your day, right? You can try to be cool, but at the end of the day, she knows what's going on, you know what's going on, and she knows you're here to pick her up because you're attracted to her and eventually you want to probably have sex with her. She then has all the power. So she has the power to either say yes, which is nice, or say maybe, okay, or maybe not. But she also has the power to just say, yeah, fuck off, or no, loser. Not that that happens a lot of time. In my experience, doing thousands of approaches and coaching many guys over the years, this actually in the real world almost never happens. Girls are really nice because they see the bravery in it, right? They appreciate it, which kind of proves my point. But in our head, it's still there. This scenario still plays out all the time. And I do understand that. I've been through that journey myself. So you put yourself out there and she has the power to just shut you down, to hurt your ego. You being vulnerable means you're ready to take the risk, you're ready to be shut down, and you're doing it anyway. And this is brave. Another incredibly important subsection of being brave, having courage, is being ready to move. And that can mean move out of your house where you live with your parents, and you should do this early. Move away from your city, move into a new place, move away from your current workplace and quit your job. Move to a new country, learn a new language. All of this stuff that is like scary, right? Exciting, but at the same time scary. All of this stuff that gets you out of your comfort zone is incredibly important. Every guy in his 20s and 30s should go through a period where he moves away, where he experiences new stuff, where he connects with new cultures, even new people, where he soaks up a new way of living, and especially where he gets himself out of the comfort zone and builds himself in multiple ways in that sense. Very important, and in a way, crazy hack, right? If you lived in 3 countries in your 20s and you had 4 different jobs and you speak 3 languages, of course you're going to be a more high value man than the guy who just had 1 job, stayed there forever, had 1 apartment, stayed there forever, speaks with the same people every week. It's logical that you're going to outcompete these types of men if you start to take social risks and kind of location risks in that sense. Another brave thing to do is investing money in yourself. It's scary. Imagine you have $10,000, $20,000 that you could spend on, just put it in the bank, buying something nice, going on a holiday, adding something to your apartment, or you put it in education, in self-improvement, in progressing a skill. This is scary because you're investing all this money in order to keep yourself accountable partly, right? So you invest money and then it's on you to actually execute. You can buy a mentor in a sense, you can pay a trainer, a coach, you can buy teachings and lessons. But at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to make something out of that. And this is very scary. Every time when I invested in myself and my life, it did pay off, but only because I had to put in incredibly amounts of discipline and courage to actually follow through. So again, if you're the guy who, instead of putting money into comfort, into luxury, puts it into yourself instead, and you execute on it, you're gonna level up against everybody else who just stays stagnant. Which brings me to trait number 2, which is discipline. Or in other words, having your shit together. These are very simple things like showing up on time, right? If you agree with your gym buddy to be at the gym at 8 a.m., but you're always 15 minutes late and he has the choice then, do I wait for him or, do I already 2 exercises without him now? The whole relationship of having an accountability partner is thrown off. You messed it up. Catching public transport together, traveling somewhere together. If you are not showing up on time, especially in an employment setting where your ability to perform leads to money and even like maybe losing money for others, being on time is incredibly important, and an instant tell of do you respect yourself and therefore the people around you or not. Discipline can also just mean dealing with stuff that you don't really like dealing with, right? As we say with building a strong body, motivation is what gets you into the gym and discipline is what keeps you going there. Discipline also means dealing with administration stuff. Connecting your credit card to your Uber, dealing with your taxes, making sure your phone works in a new country, you have enough mobile data plan, you think ahead, you book transport from the airport to the apartment in time. This and many other things, right? It also means in a way you are groomed, you smell good, you are not embarrassing either the girls around you or the high-level guys around you by showing up like a bum, by not dressing for the moment, I'm dressing comfortably 90% of the time because I'm at home filming videos, scripting stuff, working from home. But when I have to dress well, I know how to. Not because I want to dress so well or I feel so good in fancy clothes. It's kind of a discipline and respect thing to my peers. Like, do I represent those people well? The same I expect from my girl, right? If I have a high value woman one day, well, one of her jobs is to represent me well, to dress well, to look good next to me. Further sign of a undisciplined person, a person that doesn't respect himself and the peers around him is how he deals with money. Does he ask for money a lot? Does he borrow money and then doesn't give it back? Or even worse, I have to remind him constantly and he keeps promising to send money back, but he never does, or eventually or partially. If you behave like this, you will never reach your true potential. You hit your ceiling and you will just never be respected by guys that truly can bring you to the next level and that you want to actually hang out with. You will be capped at a low level tier of men. And why am I talking about guys here so much when it's also about dating? Well, of course, the guys around you, the guys in your network are crucial in which types of women are gonna be attracted to you. Even if you are a rather high-performing guy, but all your friends are bums, the girls who are considering you as a boyfriend, they will see that, they will understand it really quickly, and they will know, I don't want to be part of this network. I don't want to hang out with those losers, because automatically, by hanging out with you, she will hang out with them. So as you are trying to date higher value women and become a higher value man, your network must lift up with you at the same time. Otherwise, the hot girl sees that and she's like, nah, not my vibe, not my network. What do I do there? It's a waste of time. I like this guy, but I don't like his friends at all. They're losers. They're probably gonna drag him down. Nah, not for me. Trait number 3, stoicism. In a relationship with a woman, it is crucial that you are at all times more calm than her. You need to be the rock in the relationship, and she's the water, she's the storm, she's the wind. You have to be stable. You have to be the foundation of this relationship. You have to not be stressed out easily. You cannot be hectic or easily irritated by little things that happen in your life. Of course, you can be, as we discussed, vulnerable. You can open up. We all have traumas. We all went through shit in our life and our childhood. And obviously, if it's a truly loving relationship, we're able to open up in that sense, maybe even shed a tear here and there when we talk about our deep emotional traumas. That's another section. But in daily life, right, if your bus is late, or you're waiting 4 hours at the gate because there's a problem with your plane, or you lost your wallet, or somebody spilled chocolate on your new white shirt, or other annoyances in life, maybe your boss was a dick to you that day, or your coworkers said something annoying, and so on. If you're constantly putting your stress to the outside, and then therefore especially to your girlfriend, to your partner, you're done. She won't respect you. If she cannot feel safe and comfortable around you 99% of the time, basically, she will plan her breakup. It's basically over at this point. You need to be the guy in control. If she cannot trust you to be in control basically at all times, she will lose her sexual attraction to you. Imagine, there's a little thing happening in life. You missed the bus and you kind of freak out. Oh, we missed the bus, and the next one is only 1 hour, and then the sunset will already be blah, blah, blah. What position are you putting the girl in now? You are basically telling her there's a problem and I don't know how to solve it. So she either goes, okay, I also don't know how to solve it, and then she also freaks out, or she becomes really sad, or she's like, well, maybe there is a solution. What about we do this instead? So now you are putting her in the position of solving your problem, or her own problem in a sense. Doesn't matter whose fault it was. So now you're putting her in the masculine position and you're in the feminine one. You can do that once in a relationship, but if you do that more than once, the whole polarity is gone. A truly healthy, good, sexy, long-term relationship relies on sexual polarity between the man and the woman. And there are certain jobs that the man has, and there are certain jobs that the woman has, right? And the man is the problem solver. He's the logistical thinker. He's the planner. And if he puts that job onto her, the polarity is gone, and it will have consequences in the relationship, in the bedroom, in the way you have sex together, and in the way you respect each other. And it is the beginning of the end. Trait number 4 is integrity. It is crucial that you have an internal code of conduct that is consistent. You want to speak your truth. You want to be honest to the people around you. You want to be no bullshit, right? You say things as they are. You communicate in a way where people know they can trust you. When you say something, that's the way it is. They're not going to question everything. They're not going to think he's hiding something, he's faking something, which is in a way incredibly relaxing, especially for the women around you. This again relates to vulnerability, which we mentioned before. If I can be vulnerable about certain things like, oh, I felt really bad in this position, or yeah, my ex-girlfriend, when she said that, it really hurt me, or yeah, I was banging a prostitute last year and this is how it made me feel, or any, open stuff like this. You're not hiding something, you're putting it out there, which is vulnerable and again, very honest and very strong, and people appreciate that. Integrity and your internal code of conduct goes further. It reaches into loyalty and can people trust you? Can your coworkers rely on you? Do they know you do your job and you're not trying to f them over? You're not trying to get ahead by punching them in the face, metaphorically speaking. Even more important, outside the workplace, can your friends, your tribe members, so to say, can they trust you with their girlfriend? Can they leave you alone in an apartment with their girlfriend for an hour, for a day, for a week, and they know this guy is not gonna make moves, not even the subtle moves, right? I heard stories from guys who were like, well, I didn't make a move on her. I just looked at her and then she made a move and then I had no choice. Like bullshit. If you give her the eyes, if you're flirtatious with your buddy's girlfriend, you already f***ed up. Your buddy's girlfriend, she's like your sister. You can be friendly to her, you can be fun with her, you can be vulnerable with her, you can joke around, but you're not gonna seduce her, you're not gonna charm her, you're not gonna look deep in her eyes, even at a glance. This is an incredible important part of integrity. Again, if you are the type of guy in your network who is hitting on other guys' girlfriend, who is trying to get ahead by pulling other people down, you're not doing yourself a favor. You're basically capped in my 7 levels of the social hierarchy. You're basically stuck at the soldier level, who is, taking action, trying to improve himself, but he will never reach the knight level, where he's collaborating with other men. If you don't move up in this hierarchy, in this pyramid, you will never have true success, true abundance, true fulfillment. You're basically stuck. Integrity also applies not just in, close relationships with your coworkers, your partners, and so on. It also applies to everyday people you meet, your taxi drivers, the waiters, concierge at the hotel. How do you treat those people? Especially when you spend time with high-value men, they have a certain level of awareness. They will check, how does this guy treat people below him? Because they know, okay, this guy wants to level up. If he's already treating people who are below him now like shit, and he's leveling up, he will soon treat everybody like shit. And then I don't want to hang out with this guy anymore. Now, we talked about bravery, courage, integrity, discipline. Number 5 is having fun, being relaxed, being able to enjoy life, kind of smelling the roses, being able to dance, not take things too serious, relax, chill out, be on the wave, whatever you want to call it. This is basically representing the lover archetype. From the warrior, lover, magician, and king, you need to be strong, right? You need to be disciplined, you need to embody a lot of these masculine, strong, stoicism, rock kind of attitudes. But then in the right moment, you also need to be able to flow, to let go, to lead in a subtle way, especially when it comes to seduction and bedroom, right? You can be a strong leader in the workplace with yourself, disciplined, strong, hard, stay hard, Goggins says. But you have to be soft with a woman. You have to be gentle. You have to be a gentle man. You have to be able to receive a massage, receive a blowjob, listen to a girl, make it comfortable for her, not push back when you hear something that you don't want to hear, being on the receiving end. And being able to taste good, enjoy, appreciate, give compliments, let people know that you love them, and so on. So this is what rounds a man up. All the other stuff we've seen before are very leadership traits, and they, I would say, look good from the outside. They're very important to build yourself up, to build your discipline, your body, your finances, your business, your wisdom, your skill set. But if you're only that hard rock all the time, at the end of the day, it's not going to be fun to hang out with you, right? The one-on-one interaction with your friends, with your girlfriends are still going to make up most of your free time, especially if you are the guy who worked really hard and built financial freedom, and so on. You want to be able to see the beauty in things and relax. Also, for the more aware type of girl, if you can show these type of traits, it will tell you something about you that you might not even notice. She might make the assumption of, oh, he can enjoy things. He will also be good in bed. He was probably gentle with touch. He can f me really well. He can f me hard, but he can also do beautiful foreplay. He can then treat me like a princess after again. He knows when to push and when to pull, when to give, when to receive, when to put in more force and when to be more gentle. Now, if you want to learn further how to be a man, as we discussed, it is really complex these days. You can join the Social Academy. In the Social Academy, there's dozens of men who are on a similar missions. They want to be stronger, they want to be higher value, they want to understand themselves better, they want to attract hotter women. And we discuss all of these topics and more. What does it mean to be a man, and so on, in the Discord, the Digital Tribe Discord community. If you want to join, there's a link below. If you have any other traits to add, I would love to hear it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.